Welcome to the Kids Table, where the conversation is about fitness, but the maturity level is questionable. 3 industry leaders that still love what they do.
The one and only Gunnar Peterson, legendary trainer's trainer and athlete whisperer with over 35 years of top of the field experience, the true fitness GOAT, and also holds the title for the biggest smartass on earth.
Then you've got Luke Milton, our favorite Australian import, former professional rugby player and a group exercise and business expert. Now you've seen him on Khloe Kardashian's Revenge Body and is known for his perfect combination of humor and genius. And then there's me.
Here if you do your own intro. All right, you guys know Jen. She's an entrepreneur, world-class trainer, author, wellness mastermind. You may recognize her from The Biggest Loser. She's a trainer. She's the woman aging in reverse and keeping us in line. Ladies and gentlemen, Jen Widerstrom.
So pull up a chair as we talk fitness, the business of fitness, and give a voice to trainers everywhere.
It's informative, it's inspiring, it's where everybody wants to be. This is the Kids Table.
Today's episode is powered by Yeti and Train Heroic, the go-to platform for the go-to coaches and trainers. Okay, today's guest is someone who makes all of us feel like we've never actually done a hard thing in our lives. We've got Rudy Reyes at the table, former Recon Marine, Special Forces operator, actor, conservationist, host of Special Forces World's Toughest Test, and casually one of the most intense humans walking the earth. He's lived through things that would destroy most people and came out the other side looking like an action figure with a philosophy degree. He's part warrior, part monk, part walking pre-workout, and for some reason, he's still agreed to hang out with us. Please welcome the one-man hurricane of purpose, pain, and perfect posture, and our mate, Rudy Reyes.
Okay, so you guys
I'm not just saying this because of you, Jen. This is the best water bottle I've had, and I just upgraded from that.
Yeah.
And I love this one because it keeps it cold.
You went
the
from
whole time.
microplastics to macro metal.
Oh, I like it.
That's what you did over there.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm over here all plastic, man. I'm going to upgrade too.
Yeah, Beverly Hills plastic.
Wearing the sunglasses with the bottle. You look great.
So this is, wait, look, this, how many summer strongs is this for you, Rudy?
I started in Summer Strong 7.
7, this is 18, this is Luke's first one.
First one, and I got to say, this is, you guys explained it really well to me, but I've been surprised. From the minute we walked in to right now, higher.
Girls gone wasted.
Water and electricity.
Take up your shirt. This is how he does it. He just dumps.
But mate, it's unbelievable. You come in here, you just hit by this wave of energy. Everyone's around. I thought we were coming into a little classroom, hence my school backpack and water bottle. But I thought we'll come into a little classroom, listen to a couple of talks and bounce. No. People are in. People's energy is through the roof. Their positivity is through the roof. Everyone is together. But one of the most diverse audience I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, in what way?
Just everyone has their expertise in different areas of the industry. And I've been blown away, not just today, but being able to go out last night. You guys were so gracious to take me to the Hall of Fame dinner as well and meet so many different people from military backgrounds to scientific backgrounds to just strength and conditioning backgrounds to, foreigners, everything like that. I've been really, really blown away.
Limit those.
Yeah.
By the way, I just looked at Gunnar for the first time. Why the fuck are you wearing sunglasses?
I think
The
it's
future's
great.
so bright.
Oh, yes, bro.
Okay. Well, it's funny though. I have to now. I want to tell you, Rudy, were you here for Gunnar's first speech, the cupcake?
In the pink onesie.
Yes.
This is why you have to
Wait,
tell
you
the story.
did it in a pink onesie?
No. You have to understand. He came never knowing the audience. Tell the story.
It was a presentation on branding. And
Who knows better than Gunnar
Rudy
Peterson?
goes. Rudy goes.
And it was in that South Carolina, University of South Carolina weight room. Yeah. And it was easily 300 degrees.
Yeah.
And it was more than that in the cupcake onesie. And my son was with me, and I walked in, and I came in from the back, and I got all the way up to the front, and I turned around, and they were just staring at me. About 150 people, maybe 125, and they just stared. And I started to talk, and I continued talking as though it were normal. And then I said, "It's fucking hot. I'm taking this off." And I unzipped it. My son goes, "Dad, you were nervous. You were sweating." I said, "Dude, I was in a fucking onesie. That's why I was sweating." Anyway, and I said, one way or another, I've just branded myself to you.
Yeah.
And I said, and I'll live and die on that hill. And they looked, and then over time, they started to warm up, and nobody would ask a question. And finally, I think it was Christmas Abbott who asked the first question, and then it flowed, and then the thing went from like slow dying for 15, 20 minutes to...
Yeah, he got crickets in the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't here. I only heard it. I mean, you were.
I was there.
Yep.
I was there.
But then it opened up, and then we went out that night, and we did the typical Summer Strong thing, and I had so many people come up and talk to me about branding. Derek Carver was there, and it was just a great experience, and I think I've only missed one or two since then. I think I missed one because of the playoffs, and I think I missed one because of my wife's 40th.
Even Bert said it, like, what you think you're getting here is it's going to be something different.
100%.
Yeah.
It's deep. You know what? And so wild from Gunnar, because me coming from Kansas City, Missouri, and like when I was able to upgrade from Kmart to a place called Target. So I went to Target. Yeah, Target. Yeah. I was about 21 or 22, and I already knew about Gunnar, right? And I go to Target, and then he has like dumbbells, easy curl bar. He had some kind of like band exercise stuff, push-up bars, and I saw the G, and it was the Gunnar Peterson. So you've been in my pantheon of sport and human development, and because I've always loved training. I think all of us can really come together on that.
Well, that's our
one
currency,
space.
yeah.
That's our common ground.
We just love training. And to know that I would... Oh, and then I saw you, dog. There was like little tawdry, like TMZ style shows before TMZ. I think it was like Inside Hollywood. That's what it was. It was Inside Hollywood. And I was maybe after...
Who was he inside?
Who knows Rudy Reyes watches Inside Hollywood? Way to just shoot your image
This is the
right in the foot.
I have got bigger balls than Rudy does. Are you kidding me?
And remember, my wife at the time was super into Oprah Winfrey and stuff. So I was in Oprah Winfrey. I support everybody, and I had just been between schools, like Scout Sniper, and maybe I was getting ready to go to SEER or something. So I came home in the afternoon preparing, and then there was a little spot, and old Gunnar Peterson is out there, young, fucking svelte, and he's training these like models and stuff, and some soup du jour actor of the day. And to know that years later I would be at Summer Strong and meet this wild man sweating his ass off in his in his onesie, and I was like his biggest fan. I was out there going, hey, and that all the big meatheads, they were kind of it. This guy had more energy and more confidence than the biggest, stronger dudes out there. And
they weren't sure how to read him, right?
No, they didn't. Yeah. And how about that? He was ahead of that branding thing, I mean, decades ago. Yeah. And now it is the standard. Everyone, it must be a piece of their formula for success.
Well, as we do it, because I want to get back to putting shit on you, but just to give some compliments as well. I think you've been the most spoken about person here, and you're not speaking. I think everyone's already referred to you today.
It's because I'm the oldest.
No, that's not true.
This fuck still comes here.
He loves doing this to throw away from it, but you've been mentioned by more people than I even know, and the impact that you've had on their lives that you didn't even know of. We were just talking to Ricky, who mentioned he watched you on a YouTube, and that's what got him into Soronix, which got him into the industry in the first
Jimmy?
place.
Yeah.
Phenomenal guy, by the way. Awesome, great story. But just the impact that you've had on everyone here, I think, and you sit there super humble, and you sit there clapping with your energy.
Hey, but Jimmy Mackey just said it. He's not bragging. When I watched some of the videos, I thought, I wonder if people are reading this as bragging, because I know him, and I thought, I wonder if they're thinking, he's bragging. Why is this guy showing? And he paused and he turned and he goes, by the way, I'm not bragging. He goes, I'm giving all credit to God. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, I was glad that he intercepted where people's thoughts may have been going.
Yeah, but he also, right before he did that, he gave ultimate vulnerability, showing that road that he grew up on, the house.
Hang on. He showed his report card where he had a 0.86 GPA.
Yeah.
And he let it he's like, let it rip. I don't want. He goes, Bert, read it. That was great. I thought,
and he was grateful to his team the whole time. His wife got mentioned multiple times, but he really did pay homage to his team. Yeah, that's
always a smart play.
But I think it was
tactical. Tactical.
Well, while we're doing this, while we're jumping on with everyone, Rudy, mate, we've got to say, firstly, thank you so much for your service.
Thank you for your service, Rudy.
But talking about this sort of stuff,
I'm somewhat grateful.
But talking about this with a diverse sort of crowd in here, you've got so many people out there that have achieved so many things. The three of us have been so fortunate to be around some very impressive people. But I want to say, as a Marine Recon, I don't want to get that wrong, but like the military, the armed services, anyone that gives for this country has always got my heart and my respect, and that's non-taintable. So thanks so much for your service,
that's really
brother.
beautiful.
Yeah,
That's really beautiful, bros and sister, bro.
I'm a bro.
Australia has brought me to Commando at Sydney and to talk to SAS in Perth because they are having the struggles that our veteran and warfighter community here, they're having them as well with veteran mental health, loss of purpose, depression, substance abuse, and suicide. What made us warfighters special is our desire to be more than we were born, and through physical discipline. All of you guys know some great freaking commandos and tier brothers. And what is the common fabric? Physical culture. We love to run, jump, swim, lift, fight. And we're always working on discipline and that baseline of warrior discipline, how you manicure your weapon, how you manicure yourself, how you manicure your character.
If that weapon is not manicured, you told me this, you wouldn't have hit that squirrel.
That's right. Oh, and I hadn't eaten in days and I needed to eat. And we boiled that squirrel so I could freaking suck out the bones. I sucked out the eyeballs first. And I shared it between 3 men so every bit of enzyme would freaking fuel our bodies. And it's just so interesting.
You were on a tactical mission waiting for retrieval, right?
I was funny.
This wasn't like a Tuesday.
It might have been a Tuesday, but I was in the tundra and in the rainforest of Alaska doing a expedition with National Geographic. And all I could bring was a rifle and my survival skills to be able to eat and live off the land.
But you told me, had that rifle not been clean, that shot doesn't get made. Because so that's back to the manicured and dialed in.
It's the discipline and the daily manicure that we all do. That's why Summer Strong's so important. That's why you're so important, brother, to me, and in the connection that you've given me with Sylvester Stallone and my idol and my hero. And then how about this? We're going to get into some Zach Brown stories, but through you, Bert got to know ZB. Through ZB, Jen and I got to go out on his stage while he played this incredibly beautiful patriotic music, and he had me come out on Chicken Fried. And then Zach Brown then has helped us with Force Blue and all of it. And Gunnar, you fed me. You have fed me. You guys have opened up your homes to me. You've put nutrients in my body. That's what we mean about family in strength.
All right, quick break. Let's talk bags, because if you're still dragging around an old, overstuffed backpack that ruins your gym aesthetic, you deserve better. Introducing the Easy Access Ranchero Backpack, the latest in Yeti's lineup of tough as nails bags. This thing was made for people who actually move with a rip zip opening that tears wide open so you can grab what you need fast. No more digging around like you're looking for a lost treasure. And here's the kicker. It's got a vertical zipper so you can grab the gear at the bottom without unpacking your entire life. Your protein shaker thanks you. Whether you're commuting, climbing, lifting, or just trying to survive a rainy Tuesday, the Ranchero's tough skin nylon shell and smart internal layout keeps your laptop dry, your shoes separate, and your stuff organized. Get in, get out, get going, get it at Yeti.com or hit up a Yeti retail store near you.
Yeah, but that's like the legacy, I think, of what you do, GP. Like you find great people, you connect them. It's never about you. It's never about getting the credit. It's about that. I do want to go backwards just a half step.
Sure.
We talked about manicuring. I'm wondering how much of the manicuring of let's say the weapon is actually manicuring your confidence to know you can hit it any moment.
So true.
Is it like to me, I thought like I have to have my process so locked in so I know when the kite gets pushed around, I can get there because I've done my system.
That's
Do you know
exactly
what I mean?
right. That's
It's gotta
exactly
be
right. So
mental.
my 2 teammates, they're also special operations guys, but they're not Marines. What's drilled into us from the very beginning in boot camp. So in boot camp, we're issued rifles. So we're cleaning weapons always. And when I went through my training and selection, we use real rifles, not rubber rifles. And we're always in the swamps and in the ocean and in the filth. So any moment, in every moment, moving from one training to another, you're breaking it down and cleaning it. That state of readiness and attention to detail, it absolutely transfers over
Totally.
in sport.
Yeah, well, we're
In
just
life.
or just success.
In success.
When I did Biggest Loser, like I had my regimen, I had my flow, I had my little piece of paper with my programming, I had like my system in place in that process, and then I knew no matter if the day went sideways, I had that as like my anchor of confidence.
Yes, ma'am.
What were you going to say? I interrupted you.
No, I was going to say it's that Atomic Habits book by James Clear, and it's called, I think he calls it Preparing the Room.
Oh, I like it.
And you leave a room and you fluff the pillow, you clean the table, you put the remote where it was, you clean up whatever's on the end table, you wipe it down. That way, when you go into the room next, it's ready and you can count on that room. So if you have somebody walking through your house, that you don't go, I'm sorry about that mess. Same with your rifle.
That's it, brother. We call it prepping the zone.
There you go.
So as a reconnaissance Marine, I prepare the battlefield, right, deep behind enemy lines, set up my sniper systems and close air support, collect, and from collecting information, turning it into intelligence, and then do hard hits. But it's all in the manicure. You're right. And that's not sexy. That's so wild. We as champions in our fields and sports, on the outside, they say talent.
Yeah.
They say looks, talent, genes. No, it's manicure, having the guts when you're tired and guts when actually you're broke to still do
100%.
that.
And doing it all the time, not
Yeah.
just when it suits you. And I think that leads us into a lot of the things that's been evolved through today. If you start looking at the top 1% of any field, we're talking now about strength and conditioning, and we're talking about this sort of stuff. Preparation outweighs everything. And what's that saying? I'm going to ruin it because Australians don't get very well educated. But it's like if you give me 5 hours to cut down a tree and I'll spend 4 hours sharpening my axe. The preparation is the number one thing for all of these things. So anyone listening, especially trainers, we've just heard about, going into Antarctica, Alaska and sucking eyeballs out of squirrels. So when you're on your 8th client and you're tired and you're complaining, wake up to yourself, get back onto it, do the preparation, make sure that everything in that room is ready for you to be the best version of yourself on that 8th client, the same way you were when you opened the doors and you were so excited and why you started this, right?
Yeah.
And make sure that you minimize the opportunities or minimize the distractions and or any distractions that could lead to any failure.
Yeah, it's the painting in my gym by that artist, St. Henry. It says, remember why you started. And that's just as much for the person exercising, doing the workouts, as the person who prepared them and they're pushing. When you start to get frustrated or fatigued, you just, why did I start this? Why am I in this? And then you got to give it your all. You got to be ready all the time.
But I also, the only thing I'll push back on is like, that's where I discovered my limits. When I realized I was giving my last client less than my first, I knew I was overloaded.
Yep.
I knew I had a capacity, which like, I can't compare myself to what Gunnar can do or what you're going to do, Luke, because all of us are coaches in our different kind of ways and we take on different kinds of clientele. There are clients that you would never take on that I would take on and vice versa.
Yep.
Whether it's qualifications, whether it's patience, and so it's like, to me, when I get to that point, it's less about like, oh, I lost my why. It's like, I'm fucking tired. I'm overloaded. And you actually have to have the integrity to do the audit to say, I got to step back and I got to say no, or I got to pass the client to somebody that can service the person.
Every one of them deserve, they're all coming to you for the same reason. They're all paying you the same price. So you have to deliver. And if last client doesn't get what the first client got, then you got to pull back. And I went through that.
So, okay, that makes you feel better.
Yeah. I've deloaded, I can't even tell you, 3 times even. I mean, I went from 12, 13, 14 hours a day down to 10, 11, 12, down to 8, 9, 10, and then at 7. And when I moved to Nashville, I took it to 5. 5 was more, it wasn't a fatigue thing, but it was more, I was trying to find the word, I'm not a fan of balance. I was trying to find equilibrium. Synonyms, people. But I did I pulled it back because, and now I think I'm great at 5.
Oh man,
and
5
people might
is-
laugh and go, "That's nothing."
Dude,
okay,
5 is
maybe.
my number now too. If I hit 5, like I'm like, that's a full day.
But that doesn't mean I go home and then I'm on the couch.
No.
Then I start giving that energy to the other aspects of my life.
And I think we should be really clear with that. The 4 of us sitting here, 4 of us in different lanes. Some of us share the same industry, but we're in different lanes. But I think the one commonality is that we put everything into what we do at that given moment. So, I mean, the energy that I've just get off you guys, Rudy and I were just talking about this the minute you see it. It's just, it's electric, right? It's just so great. Seeing you yesterday, it was just like, it's just this burst of energy. But Gunnar, the same thing. You and Jen we were lucky enough to spend some time together last week in Dallas. And you're like, nope, we're fixing that hip. I'm like, all right, let's go. And just the care that you gave my hip. We're such close friends, but not just another client. It's like, okay, get down, let's get that glute up, let's get those hips up. Gunnar, I see you do it all the time, and you'll throw off on this, but it's always like you are all in. We'll walk into your gym, and it's not the time to. You're focused on your client. You're giving them everything you got, and that's exhausting at times. So, I think
I wonder why. Why do people not operate? Why doesn't everybody operate at that level? Is it a lack of commitment?
Because you don't have to.
Is it
because there's so many levels of so many jobs where you come in at 75-80%, the person you're providing the service to may not even know it. But
did you think that?
I know we're in the real world, but if you push this over and you put the focus, put the crosshairs on Rudy's world, what happens in your world if you're not 100% focused?
Yeah.
Someone dies.
Correct.
Or a lot of people die. And it's so interesting. I'm learning so much from you all with this discussion right now. It is the thing that I've had the hardest time with in my life is what you're talking about, what you all are very good at. I have used inertia and momentum to keep balance. I've never stood still long enough. So I just pedal the bike faster and take on more and take on more until catastrophic failure.
Yes.
And I am now really, really doing my best to find a different way. And you know where it's coming from? Do you know what I found most success in? I've got a therapist. I'm working through some of the things that I thought were my biggest benefit, having a hard childhood, being given up and being put in a boys' home, being abused. I always carried that with a badge of honor, and it's given me passion and power, but it's also limited me from caring about myself.
Or maybe delayed.
It's delayed it. So now I've gotten so far there, and now I'm working on letting go of things, and all of a sudden my hip issues better, no tendinitis, body fat gone. I feel so much better, and I'm slowing down, but it's a rich hypercolor slowing down.
Oh, sure. Well, I think that we identify with certain behaviors that give us confidence or just a safety. You're like, I am this guy. I am this person. And then you're like, I don't actually have to stay that person to stay happy or stay successful. But having that change of guard is scary because you're testing. You're like, I know how to do that as this person, and you're learning how to like undo that origami and refold it. And you're like, because you're like, I just know what that feels like, and I want to stay up there. But you're not gonna make it.
But it's a fine line you walk between branding yourself and then always being on brand. Always being on brand at work is important. It's you have to do it.
Yeah.
But there are times, and I'm not saying you have to be split personality, and when you're not working, you're completely different. But you can shut it down. You don't have to be on all the time.
No, 100%.
And I think Rudy, you run. I think you run hot on all the time.
Yes.
And now you're finding that chill, right?
Oh, it's so awesome because, and the on thing is this for me personally, and maybe you all can definitely relate. I bet you can. Something's going to happen or need me or opportunity. And because we're all individual operators, our business is us individually. And how many times have we missed the ball or dropped the ball, maybe just because of logistics or because we're only one body, and we never want to freaking miss that opportunity again. And then you're just redlining always. Also, I'm getting older. I'm afraid, me personally, because unlike you all, you guys are much more professional coaches. I'm a leader, not necessarily a professional coach, and the leader in the Marine Corps style is from the front. Well, now that I'm 53, I'm asking myself, do I want to be at the front like this the rest of my life? Because actually, I love my kids. Mm-hmm. I'd love to maybe spend some time with my fucking homies. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Do you hear what I'm coming from? It's a shift
listen,
for me.
I talk with Gunnar all the time. I think about you moving to Nashville and how that was a really big decision for your family. And it's not that you're not in the front anymore, but he changed his position.
But isn't there a thing with wolves? Doesn't the alpha wolf, isn't he at the back?
Yeah, middle of the pack.
Really?
He's got a tough guy running tail end Charlie, but in the middle because he's got to be able to direct and flank,
protect the pups and stuff.
That's
so
right.
I look down and I go, you can lead from
well said,
right
God,
where
well
you
said.
are.
Yeah,
I don't have to be in a certain city to lead, especially after COVID happened and everybody realized that you can do so much remotely.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm glad when we decided to do this, we decided that being in person was important for this, but we don't have to be in person all the time and on this. We can do our own things out there, middle of the pack, back of the pack, and then, reconvene
For sure.
and lead.
If you're a trainer looking to level up, grow your business, and actually connect with your clients, Train Heroic is the game changer you need. I've used it for years. It's the first tech my clients actually enjoyed using. They showed up, did the work, and I could coach them through every rep. Trusted by top coaches since 2012, plans start at just $10 a month and you get your first 14 days free. Head to trainheroic.com/the kids table to start your free trial now. And there's so many different ways to lead, but I think that the thing that all brings us back together, I'm really glad you touched on where you're at in your life and what you want out of it, because I think we all crave human connection. Mm-hmm. And for the three of us to get together, not unlike this room of 700 people, human connection is the one part. And I want to pay homage to Jimmy again, because I actually was blown away by his speech. And I know this might not come across as well on a podcast, but a guy just got up there from a really tough upbringing. He's done really well for himself. More importantly, he's impacted a bunch of different human beings' lives in a positive. He got a standing ovation because of his craving of human connection. And he admitted himself, he's not a brain surgeon. He's not doing anything totally unnecessary. He's working his butt off. He gets up every day and he tries to be the best version of himself for others. He's a person of service. He's a person of faith. He is giving to a higher level. And that's how he's living his life. And 700 people stand up and applaud him for that. And that's what we're going to get back to. That's what we've got to get back to. You can lead from anywhere. He's in the Bahamas, but he just led 700 people to give a stand.
And he's got NFL athletes flying down there, renting a condo, and staying for 3 months to train with him.
Yeah.
The training is what the training is. It's like a restaurant. The food is good. The food is what it is. It's the experience. It's completely immersive. It's completely selfless, and he's pouring into those guys, and they're just going there to be with him.
Did you
That
see the
speaks
video?
volumes.
It was like Cam Newton on your show.
Yeah, I was in and out. Gunnar was giving me some prompts. Okay, so the first speaker. So holy smokes, you guys are all pro coaches, and I got
Dr. Gelpin.
Yes, I got tons of insight and information about where we're going with tech and where we're going with the how to create the last percentile of human performance, because there's millions and billions of dollars on the line. And then I reflected on myself. I'm the opposite of that.
Same.
It's all from my heart, man. I love to lift weights and train with my friends. I love to eat with them. I love to go outside. I love to freaking drink with them and listen to some music. And then I almost, we listen to our favorite songs. You get your workout mix going, and it's this emotional, cathartic, and quantum experience. And I want, and it's just so fitting that it's Billy, right? That came on after him? Jimmy
Mackey.
Jimmy was just right there in my soul, y'all.
Well,
Me too.
Here's the thing. I think Dr. Gelpin was discussing the future of measurement and human performance. What's tricky, and he actually said it, he's like, all of this is nothing without the application of the coaches, without the head and the heart. None of this data means anything. And to be honest, like I'm not. I work with a demographic of people that I'm struggling to get to drink water. I'm not going to make an identical, what do they call it? A digital twin?
Digital twin.
A digital twin. You know, I'm like, oh, no, I just need that person sleeping better and drinking water. I am interested about the blood work. I probably will submit all my blood work to him because I'm like, this is what
if you can afford it.
If I can.
Oh, I know. God, he's such a smug bastard sometimes.
Yeah,
that guy.
like-
Yeah, I mean.
But that's really, but I do want to see. I'm like, okay, I want to know. I want to know what that looks like. But I'm not who I coach. I am not who I coach.
But at one point, you were trending in that direction. You said that when you got out of athletics, you gained weight. You started on a downward trend. I'm not saying you were that it was imminent, but I'm saying you were in that direction.
Yes, I guess I'll revise what I'm saying is that I'm at a place with my body and my health where like, I'm interested in some high level biomarkers. Yeah, let's take a look at the data. I might get that sleep app. I'm like, sure, let's track it. I'm curious because I'm at that level of my health. But most of the people I'm working with, it's what Rudy said. I want them to have fun. I want them to keep coming back. The way they feel excited that they're strong and they can pick up their kids. All I do as a coach is create consistency, an environment that they can be consistent in, and that's it. We don't need to track their anything else. Look, we don't need a digital twin.
What Rudy just said is actually success in my definition of it. But I just want to be really open to everyone has different definitions of success. But what you like human connection to me, my success is 100%, and my wealth is dictated by the amount of people that I've got in my life at the one time.
They're impacted in such a loving and positive way.
But do you think though, Luke? Okay, we are all people. Persons, right? We love people. Do you find that your circle, you're having a change of guard? Like you're having a smaller circle come through that you're having a shift?
No question. And I'll take it back about 12 years. I first moved to LA, maybe a little bit longer, a couple of years ago. Got a really high profile client who super impressive executive, one of the most powerful executives in America. And he said to me, as you evolve, your inner circle will become smaller and smaller, and that's okay. There's going to be another circle on that, but they're never going to get into your inner circle. Protect that inner circle with your life. Now, this is one of the most, formative executives to ever grace the media industry, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that made no sense to me until our company Training Mate started to grow. And I still shared the same values. I still held on to the same values. I still teach. That's why it resonated so much with me today with Jimmy. It's like, dude, you pick up the wipes, you teach. You and I teach. We love it. Gunnar, I see you in the gym. Like, Rude, I want to get Rude's on a microphone teaching a class. I don't know how.
No, I'm great at it.
He doesn't need the microphone. That's the cool part.
But I love that part. But to your point, my circle has gotten so much smaller now, and probably 3/4 of my circle is sitting in this room right now, because a circle has to be built on trust, and a circle has to be built on credibility. And the other two things that I love so much about this is because people throw around family all the time. They do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when family can be just an attraction to people's, inner being, the human connection. You don't have to be born into it. And I really do. I just don't want to throw it around like anything else. And I want my inner circle to be my family. And that means that I've got to, like anyone else, be willing to give just as much to them as I'm selfishly getting out of the relationship. And that circle is becoming smaller and smaller the clearer I get on what I need out of life, or what my version of success for myself is.
Do you agree, or do you have different qualifiers?
No, I agree 100%. And I think when he's doing those measurements, and he's telling you what you can give and where you're limited and where your performance will suffer or fall off, I look at that and I go, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that you can measure what's in here and how I can get this to trick this. And I know that you can only do that for so long and to a certain degree, but if that's what pushes me through my personal 2-minute drill or my personal fourth quarter, you might have missed that on your readings, on your interpretations of my markers.
Yeah, it was interesting when Dr. Galpin said that he's like, we were able to predict the placement of the marathon runners. I forgot which marathon it was. Chicago Marathon. And I thought, that's fascinating. I was like, shit, that's cool data. And then I thought the amount of times I beat people I wasn't supposed to beat in hammer throw because I chose, because my mind switched on.
Isn't this us being here right now an actual example of that?
Yeah.
And go watch this, dig deeper on Rudy because he's the guest. Your martial arts career.
Oh my
you
God.
must have come up with people who
nobody even knows that you did that. Do you know that?
But you must have come up on paper against people who should have crushed you.
Yes, I fought China's best and Russia's best, and there were no middleweights because, I'm middle-sized, so I fought the heavyweights, and the karate guys just come into the competition to fight. I did empty hand forms, I did two-person sets, I did wrestling, and then I did weapons, and then at the end, and gold and all of those, now I've got to fight. And it's single elimination. Of course, I make it to the end. I'm fighting these tough dudes that are fresh, and I'm the smallest guy there.
So if I'm a betting man, I'm not putting the money on you.
Yeah,
No way.
my kung fu teacher was a short order cook at a dime store grocery, and he had no name. I had no name. I got the gold medal and the grand championship, and everything's going bananas. And then my kung fu teacher comes over to me and he says, Ludi, no one know my name, but they say, that's Ludi's teacher. Speaking to the heart component.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking to the heart component.
I'm going to break podcasting rule 101 here and start a conversation I don't know how to finish. But there was a study done on this, right? Back in the day, Eastern Bloc study where they took a muscle biopsy and they said, you are now, for Olympians, you are now a swimmer, you are now a tennis player, you are now a gymnast.
The old Soviet style.
Right?
Yes, they did. And they did it in China as well.
Yeah, and then, but the human force, the stuff that we can't put on a spreadsheet or plug into, any
The
AI
algorithm,
now, the algorithm, it came true. It won. The human spirit won because there was 1 million people that went and gold medaled at Olympic levels in sports that they weren't physiologically supposed to play. So there's got to be more done. You can't plug the heart, you can't plug the soul into AI. You can't do it. I don't care what anyone says. And human will is the most powerful thing you will ever have in your life. It doesn't matter if you were born rich, poor, or otherwise. You can still be successful. It doesn't matter if you were born short. What was it, Muggsy Bogues?
Muggsy, yeah.
It was a 5-foot-something NBA player. Come on, mate.
There's a great book called Endure. You will love it. You can get it on Spotify.
I like the name of it already.
And the reader is great, but it talks about, it's the conversation and negotiation around which wins, the body or the mind. And there's all these feats of strength and like cool historical moments during fitness, during expeditions.
During survival.
Yes, it's really, really fun to look at the conversation around it. And they talk about like the pencil test. And if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to tell you.
Is that where they put it under the boob?
Okay, that's a different. I'd love to know.
That's a pencil test.
Oh, like if my boobs are big enough, it'll hold it?
I've seen that.
Well, Rudy and I are probably the only two people that would pass this one with these flimsy tits over here.
I actually have the smallest nipples in the world.
Oh my God! Show everybody.
Smallest nipples.
Will you? It's okay. Look at that.
Oh, that's small.
Small.
Oh my God.
And mine are small, but not that small.
Let's see.
But I'm not as big.
Okay, guys, let's pull them out.
I'm not as big as
Wait. You're comparable.
But he's bigger than me. So
both of your children are starving.
I used to sit there and stretch them as a kid because I felt so self-conscious.
Fluky.
Last thing about Dr. Andy, I will say, and
we've got by the way, 5 minutes.
Okay,
we
to
gotta
get back to what you said, Jen, and that's exactly what I was thinking. I said, as the coach, leader, performer, that would help us. Not necessarily our clients, but so that we can continue to sustain because we're getting older and we're pushing ourselves so hard. Because I do need to, when I'm doing 20-hour days out there in the jungle or in the desert, squeeze every little bit out of myself. Yeah. Because sometimes, But that's what creates that inertia you talked about earlier. Okay. When you live on the edge, I feel that shit too. It's like, I'm like, we're going to do it. Yeah. I like that pressure. It's positive pressure, so take it. But I will say, all the data, all the science, all the education
is nothing if you can't, get yourself to do it or surround yourself with people that help you get there.
If I'm one of his athletes and he says, we looked at your biomarkers, we see this, you're going to place here, you're going to do this, I'm going out of my way to beat that.
To beat it. I know, Gunnar.
I just am. I'll never say anything. And then every time I'd walk by his office, I'd go, how's your little test, buddy? And I would just go out of my way to beat it. So then I wonder, because he's a very smart guy and a very educated guy, does he bump up the numbers to push you to get where it said you couldn't get?
Well, yeah, you just touched on something really important. Number one, I'm with you. I think that it could even be strategic, give you a low score or a low, possibility of doing it. But here's the other thing, right? Is there a placebo test in this type of thing? Do we make people, psychologically softer if we give them information that tells them they're a 99% chance of being successful? If someone had told me I was 99% chance of being successful, no way would I have been successful. It's actually the adversity that creates the success.
Well, the obstacle is the way.
Yeah, there we go.
Great book, by the way. But that's the other thing, and that's where we actually talked about this previously when we spoke to Myers Leonard, and you hear it in Jimmy's story. They didn't have a choice. Like, they had to survive. Rudy, I think about your story. You had to survive. So it's like, when you think about the trauma that people grow up in, like, does trauma become an unfair advantage?
Oh, well, it definitely the epigenetics.
And I don't mean unfair advantage, like how unfair it happens to
them.
you.
No, unfair to them. Because look at me now, right? Unfair to y'all that I had to go through it hard. The epigenetics that through stressors and traumas, we have the opportunity to turn on genes that make us better, not just be scarred. So I look at it that way.
Go and Google the backgrounds of the CEOs of the Forbes 500 list.
Yeah. It's interesting. There's another thing, going back to what you said a second ago, they say in child psychology, they say when your kid does something, you shouldn't say, wow, you did really well, you're really smart. What they say to encourage the kid where the next performance exceeds the first performance is when you say, wow, I see you worked really hard at that. And when you say, I see how hard you worked at that they end up working harder. But when you tell them, oh, you did really well on that, you're so smart, they end up underperforming on the next one. It was an interesting...
So you're praising the work, correct, not the end
And that's
result.
how you're promoting and nurturing the work ethic versus just an ego.
Which is, by the way, that's what we do in private training.
All day long.
All day long.
Yeah, I don't go, wow, you did a great set there. You're really strong. I don't think I've ever said that.
No.
You're so strong. That's not in my world. But I say, I love how you crushed that.
Yeah.
I love how you pushed.
You're witnessing their output and their effort.
Yeah.
We have to wrap this up. Closing remarks for our guest, maybe? Let Rudy do it?
It's a pleasure that you guys had me on here. I didn't know that I was going to do this.
I know you were doing a little Zoom call. You're selling your nest something.
I'm in my zone because I'm with my community, and you're exactly right about this, man. There is a quantum effect that happens when we're amongst the Knights of the Round Table. And that's what this is for me. I live a lot of my life professionally and physically because I'm doing a lot in my communities. I'm up front and I don't have the support. Somehow my shoulders are strong enough to carry it. Yeah. Holy smokes. When I'm back here, oh my gosh, I feel like I've just got oxygen pouring into me and that
just
flame is
doing
burning.
tuck jumps at the restaurant private property,
yes,
right?
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
It is a round table for sure when we exchange these ideas, but it is always the kids' table.
Well played, sir. Branding
brother, thank you again for your service. It's a bar tab that I will never ever be able to pick up, but I'm glad people like you do.
Thank you, Rudy.
We'll still drink a bunch of Modelo's in the lobby today.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Well, you survived another episode. Congratulations.
Now go and follow the show, subscribe to the show, like the show, comment on the show, download the show, leave a 5-star review for the show, or any review really. We'll take what we can get.
Okay, Luke, they get it. This was the kids' table. See you next recess.